gain access to the blower motor, you're going to want to open the passenger door, and underneath the dash, underneath the glove box, there's going to be this knee bolster. There's two clips. There's one there and one down there. You're just going to pop those out, and this whole thing just slides. Well, you'll pull it down, it'll slide out. Gross. Okay, with that out of the way, we can see our blower motor. So this right here is the actual blower motor. And let me see if I can get my light in here. It's kind of cramped quarters, but there's one electrical connector right there. And then there's three screws. There's one there, there's one over there, one right there. I'm going to go, they're Torx bits, or they're a Torx screw, so I'm going to find the right size and we're going to pull those out. To disconnect the electrical connector, there's a little tab right here. You just push that in, pull it out. You might have to wiggle it quite a bit because sometimes they're kind of stubborn. There we go. You want to make sure it's not burned. Sometimes they do burn up, but that one's fine. Okay, I'm going to go grab a Torx bit and pull those screws out. With those three screws removed, the blower motor will fall right out of its house here. There's one little spot where the wire harness is retained to the blower motor, so use a little flat bladed screwdriver or a trim tool to pop that out. Oh, there's two spots, I lied. Oh wow, it's locked right up. Something's wrong. Ooh. Doesn't want to spin. It spins so far and then it stops. How I knew this blower motor was bad was whenever you turn the heater on, the interior lights would dim. Yeah, it spins and then it hits one spot and it just stops. Something's wrong. We got a new blower motor. It even came with a new wheel. Whenever you change a blower motor, it's a good idea to change the resistor while you're there. Especially in the case if your blower motor is seized up like this one is, because trying to operate the blower motor is going to burn up the blower motor resistor. And on this vehicle, I can get these wires out of the way right now. This is the blower motor resistor right here. It's got one electrical connector. It's got two little Torx screws, right? One right there and one right there. It's got a tab on the electrical connector, just like that. And the screws are the same as the ones that were holding in the blower motor. I can even get on them. Try a different route here. kind of a pain in the butt here. I'm doing it all by feel. There's one. They're a T20. Torx T20 is the size of the bit you'll need. What do we got here? There we go. There's the second one. Now it should just wiggle right out of there. And there it is. That's what it looks like right there. So, it's always a good idea to match it up, make sure it looks the same. It does. So let's go ahead and install this resistor, and then we'll install the new blower motor. You want to make sure you put it in so the connector is going to be in the same orientation it was when you took it off. Okay, don't over tighten the screws, just snug them up. Plug our electrical connector back in, and we'll move on to the blower motor. We'll just do a quick side-by-side comparison. All the little tabs, the screw holes look to be in the same spot. One difference I can spot right away is this one, the connector's integrated to the case, the plastic case. In the aftermarket one, they give you a little pigtail. But the two connectors are the same, just different color. Should work. A little different right there, right there. Okay, let's put it in. Just want to test fit it real quick, make sure we're good. Make sure everything lines up. And it does. Alright, good deal. Pain in the butt. All right. Where'd the last screw go? There it is. Okay, the motor's installed. Before we put all the wiring back in place and put the cover on here, it's a good time to verify that it works, and if it doesn't, then we can troubleshoot it. So. Wow, look at that. That's why it wasn't working. Cheap junk. Why would they put that in like that? On the downside, so it's got to go like this. This is why we checked it before we just put it in. How come I didn't notice that when I was looking at this thing? Okay, it's working now. Now you can see the connectors, the end of the wires, the terminals are all the way into the connector. So we're going to hook this back up, plug it into those little holes, and we'll just push that up out of the way. the last thing we got to do is put our cover back in place here. There we go. And that's how you put a blower motor in a Dodge Charger. If you found this video helpful, give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe, check out my other content. I appreciate the support.